Hello, it's the Old Pro, Michael Harmon, coming to you again with another chat session for Tuesday's news in the Old Pros table. I am in the archives room at Nairn Golf Club with a dear old friend of 20 plus years now, Mr. Colin Sinclair. We go way back.
We do.
For my contacts in the UK, probably as long as anyone that I can think of outside of maybe Stuart and the travel guys, who I'm closing in on 90 trips with.
Yeah,
amazing
wonderful.
number.
Gosh.
90, unbelievable.
Can't believe we keep letting you back in the country.
Someone said I deserve an OBE.
Don't get carried away.
Colin, one of the finest professionals I've ever met. Was in London. You were at Walton Heath, if
Yes,
I remember.
yeah, I
Apprentice in
was
Walton Heath.
senior assistant to Ken McPherson.
McPherson, a
Walton,
legend.
97 through to 99.
He taught you well.
And very lucky with Ken.
But Colin, everyone associates Colin with his 20 plus years at Carnoustie, where we really developed our friendship. Colin had come to Secession many times with friends, and we have several international members here as a result of that.
And our club captain.
So the current club captain, and Ollie, is Ollie the current club captain?
He is, yes.
Yeah. And several others, although there's some that, I think when we were talking the other day about some, I think they're UK guys, but they're members here as well.
Okay.
And I associate them with being here, and they're really elsewhere. But Colin left 3 years ago to run the Nairn Club, which is just one of the great clubs, probably the club in the Highlands. And we'll be playing there today. Very shortly, we have a nice match with the boys. In fact, they're on the tee now. So we're going to squeeze a quick interview in. But probably the biggest news is, and it's relatively new news, Colin just accepted the secretary job at Royal St. George's. Easily one of the finest clubs in Europe, not just the UK. And first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a marvelous time. Tell everybody about your Carnoustie years, and then what led to here. This is a vacation spot for you. This is where you used to
holiday with the family.
You loved it here and had a house, and will retain a house.
Yes.
And then most importantly, give us a little bit of the new news at Royal St. George's. Just great to have you here. Thanks for sitting with us.
Lovely to have you here first and foremost. As you say, our relationship goes back a long, long time, which we cherish. But again, it was pretty much through Carnoustie, which I was fortunate to be given the position there in 99, year of Paul Laurie's Open Championship win.
Right.
And maybe Jean van der Velde's capitulation.
That was your first year?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
First year.
And you were there for that. I didn't know that was the first.
That was the first year. Wonderful experience, being involved with an Open Championship. We always had a love for our Open. My first Open was St Andrews in '84, just as a young boy with my mum and dad, and just having that connection to the Open is, it was just, we were so fortunate that we got a great championship and a great champion. But then Carnoustie really elevated itself. Not saying it was a sleeping giant, but became very commercial. We built, there was a shop within the hotel, and then that grew to another shop outside the hotel, and then a clubhouse.
Right.
And then
within
that period,
the new clubhouse.
Yes, ground floor. Yeah, responsible for the ground floor.
Yeah.
But our job was retail, it was coaching, it was golf, and it was Carnoustie. Still, to me, is the best golf course. It's just a phenomenal layout. It's right in front of you, no tricks to it. But I got the opportunity to work with a fantastic organisation, and just learn my skills. I got exposed to 3 Open Championships, a Women's Open, 2 Seniors Open that you played in. In 2010. 2010. And it was just when you do that kind of period of time there, I pretty much done everything I could, and I thought, well, I would like to manage the facility because I was the head pro, and I felt that my skills had been developed enough that I felt I was in the right position to manage a facility. And then in the end of 2018, the role for CEO came up at Nairn. And Nairn, my dad was a member here because I was born in Inverness, and although we moved down to Helensburgh when I was only 3 years of age, my dad, kept on his membership for a period of time.
So there was a connection.
There was a connection there, and then when our daughter Jill was born in 2012, my wife Fee and myself, we joined Nairn as out of town members. And this is where we came for our holidays, and just we loved it. Just stayed on a lovely guest house with a great lady, Rosemary Young, and so when this opportunity came up, I felt it was a time to move. I'd done everything I thought I could achieve at Carnoustie, and just again to enhance my skills. I felt
How old were you then?
I was 48.
I was going to say late 40s.
Yeah,
perfect time for a move.
And then 3.5 years here has just gone incredibly quickly with obviously with COVID thrown into the mix. But what I've learned, great membership, so passionate for their golf. I thought the members at Carnoustie were passionate for their golf. The members here just love to play, regardless of the weather, regardless of the time of year, and their passion for their club is. And that just draws you into wanting to provide an even better service. And just unfortunately, COVID really did hurt us because we do rely very heavily on our overseas friends.
Sure.
And if they don't come, some people might say, well, that model doesn't work. Well, no, it doesn't work in a pandemic. But that is our model.
Correct.
And obviously this year it's been fantastic to see all our friends back.
So bounce back.
But when you're not generating these surpluses that you can then provide the service levels that a great club like this should have, that's stung a bit. So you have to balance the books, and a lot of great work behind the scenes from our committee, which is now a board, from previous past captains, Andy's playing today, Callum Sinclair, and then obviously our chair Robert Beattie that you'll meet today, and a lot of people just put in a huge amount of effort, and we came out stronger at the other side.
I would imagine that was good for you and
your
skills.
Do.
You had to, it wasn't like the norm. You had to step out a little bit. You probably expanded as a manager.
Without a doubt.
No.
Yeah.
Not easy, but
no. But the thing is, I felt what we learned at COVID, because there was so much information, and there was no rule book on this. That it was just to stay calm and just base your decisions on evidence, not on a whim. And I think it's a good idea, or I think that it's just base it on evidence. And everything we did was based on evidence. Yeah. We didn't. Some people felt that we should have done this, that, and the next thing. It's amazing the amount of experts that come out the woodwork in times of trouble. And golfers, better than me, that they're all agronomists, they're all pros, they're all food and beverage managers. And
still 10 chiefs, no Indians.
It's as much as it was a challenging time. The course last year we had the amateur championship, and the course was just fantastic. It was open championship conditioning, and I can say that having worked at 3 opens. Right. Our course manager Richie Ewan and his team, these guys are at the top of their game, and you'll see it today. And he gets a hell of a lot of play. Remember, 40,000 rounds that's getting.
That's a lot. This has always been, I think, synonymous with the best conditions in the UK.
Yes, yeah. And then Nairn was certainly synonymous with the greens.
Certainly,
it was always Nairn's greens are the finest, and what we would like to kind of get across as well as finest tees, finest fairways, surrounds, everything that goes with the package.
And that's where a guy like you, who Colin's a superb player as well, that's where a guy like yourself.
Yeah, I used to be.
Really,
I wasn't even a superb player, but anyway.
You were superb. Because that's the eye. There's the eye of a player that can take the surrounds, let's say, and change that. Greens pretty easy to take care of. Tees. But all of a sudden, your eye, let's move this cut over here a little bit, or let's have a little more access into this green.
Our course manager thinks like that, though.
That's good.
That's good. He doesn't need me in any shape or form. I'm there to support Richie and the team. Yeah. But they're wanting the course to be in the finest condition, not just for kind of 1-2 weeks of a year. Yeah. It's in strong condition all season, and even in the winter, it's incredible how good a condition it is in the winter time.
We got a blustery one today. We're
just breezy. Yeah. We've had, as I said earlier, we've had a lot of wind this year. Man, it's just been incredibly windy. But I say the course has stood up well. So again, we loved where we live, and then I was very fortunate in end of March, beginning of April, a recruitment company, SRI, sent me an email asking if I would be interested in the secretary's role at Royal St George's, and I said, absolutely, I would be very interested. And then the process started from there, and I've been very, very fortunate and privileged to be given this incredible opportunity to manage. You're saying one of the finest in Europe, one of the finest in the world. It is a phenomenal club. Believe it or not, it's exactly the same old as Nairn, same age as Nairn, 1887, so 135 years old. With 15 Open Championships, incredible history that goes along with everything's tied to having this opportunity that I've been given, and I'm there for the members and the guests and my team, and I'm really excited with the opportunity. Because you did ask, was it a big decision? Well, no, I just felt so right. I was fortunate. My landlord at Walton Heath was a member at Royal St George's, Dr. Elson Dew. So I used to get a knock on the door to say, Sinclair, you're driving me down to St George's tomorrow for a game, which I was delighted with, so he could enjoy the fantastic lunches, and so I knew the club very well, and it wasn't a difficult decision. I've loved my time here, but this is just a step up for myself and for the family. So.
I think anybody who travels to the UK with any regularity at all knows that club is unquestionably one of the finest, as you say, in the world. Certainly over here, if not the finest. So many of the great clubs are kind of council owned. The Carnoustie, the St Andrews. They have the RNA's obviously magnificent, but they're not always private clubs. I mean, this is the club in the Highlands.
Yes,
certainly. Yeah. But that one down there is the club of one of the great clubs of the world, and
just a wonderful layout. I mean, the dune effect that it has throughout the course, and it's a big property. It's one course, and again, in a way, with Carnoustie, it's such a strong golf course. But then on that is the membership. It's a fantastic membership that I'm just excited to look after.
I think I heard that they were redoing some of the rooms. That's a project to be done.
I've not. There are projects that the club will be looking to do in the future. But
I've stayed in those dorms. I love those dorms.
Yeah, there's 9 rooms upstairs. I've not been in them as yet. So I start on the end of October.
I was going to say October, November.
Just look forward to seeing what I can do to assist the club.
Well, I can assure you, and I can assure the members of St. George's Sandwich, as they say, that you've got one of the finest professionals I've ever met. And we could sit here and talk all day long about 1,000 different things, but we've got a game to play. And I never win. Well,
you do.
I won once. The last time I played you, and it took a 2 on 17 at Carnoustie to beat you.
That's right. Yeah, I'm still in therapy.
I've never beaten this man. Not even at my own club, I couldn't beat this man.